Today's quick tip comes from the Digitally Sassy podcast number 13, which is 10 great ways to save money when you're working online. And my mom always said the best way to save money is to not spend money. So we're going to start here. One of the tips from this podcast that I wanted to share with you is to start small and grow big. Often you don't need the bigger, more expensive tools when you're just starting out. And I think there's a tendency for some to go out and spend a lot of money on things you just don't need. So many of these new tools have small versions, like very low payment plans or free plans that you can access, which is really good for the numbers that you're putting in. It's kind of like buying a house, and I use this analogy in the podcast that when you start in the housing market, you often will buy small. That's why they call them starter homes. And then as your career progresses, you move into a bigger home. And as your career goes on and your family grows, you may move into a larger home. And if you started with that larger home, you wouldn't be able to pay the bills, right? So that's where you start with a starter home. And that's the same thing when you're just starting out and bootstrapping a business. And if you don't have much of a budget, start small. Most of these very cool tools will have free versions or low-cost versions. And if there's some special features that you really want, go for it. But it gives you a chance to try before you buy and to make your dollars go further. And as the income starts coming in, then you can go and purchase the ones that are really meaningful to you. So that's a quick tip for today. And you can listen to the full episode and get the other great tips at most podcast directories, as well as at digitallysassy.com/podcast. Cheers now.